Hey, good morning. I hope you guys are all having a really great day. It is a beautiful day. Obviously, you can see it's super sunny here in Kansas City. And if I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, my name is Kendall Go, and I have been working with Rodan and Fields and growing my business for about 6.5 years now. What I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about today is duplicating your efforts and just what should I say to even make that happen? So just a tiny background on me is when I started this business, my education had been in interior design, but for 4 years previous to jumping into this business, I had been immersed in all things motherhood. So had a 3 and a 4-year-old and had just found out I was pregnant for the third time. And while I was thrilled, part of me just was missing, and I needed something that I could be proud of above and beyond my kids and being a good, sorry, I just realized I lost an earring, above and beyond being a good wife. So into Rodan and Fields. And my background, like I said, was nothing that had to do with sales. Definitely didn't have anything to do with skincare. But what I quickly learned was partnering with a brand like this that has the notoriety. Now we've grown to be the #1 skincare brand in all of North America. We have exceeded $1 billion in sales. Really how to leverage that. But I, at the beginning, I didn't really know what to say. So a couple of thoughts on that. I think at the beginning, it's obviously not a traditional job where we get trained or we go to school for something and then we go on to do whatever career that is. Instead, it's really kind of in reverse of that. And we learn this business as we go. And just like anything, it's been my experience that the more that I practice what I should say and say it out loud has really helped me gain confidence to when I have the opportunity to have a conversation that I felt like I could do it, right? So again, back to what do I say? What does this look like? At the beginning, this was a big stumbling block for me. And it's funny because now people say all the time, gosh, you're so good, it just rolls right off your tongue. That definitely wasn't the case at the beginning. So what do you say? A lot of times I make the conversation about them. So just say you're catching up over coffee, really asking them, what have you been up to? This time of year, I know it's crazy with so many, kids parties and different school events and all kinds of different opportunities kind of to have these conversations. So again, a lot of times what I'll do is say something to the effect of, gosh, what have you been up to? Open the door for them to really talk. The mistake that I made at the beginning was feeling like I needed to convey a whole bunch of information about Rodan and Fields. That's really not the case. This is really about them. And let them fill you in. And typically what happens in a conversation is then they will ask the same. So what have you been up to? This is where I like to slide in. Yeah, I have in charge of our Veterans Day brunch at our school here in the next week. We just had, a whole bunch of family and friends over for Halloween. It was a great time. But what's been really fun is that we just launched a new product with my company and people are loving it. And then I don't say anything else. Because again, typically what will happen is someone will say, well, what did you launch? It gives you the opportunity to say a little bit more. Instead, I like that approach instead of, so yeah, oh my gosh, have you ever heard of Rodan and Fields? Yeah, well, we've are the top selling skincare brand in all of North America. And we have all these, when you start just rattling off all those facts, I think that's when people start to shut down. But when you say, just put in little, almost like a little hook to get their attention, again, most oftentimes people are going to say, well, what did they release? Oh my gosh, this amazing eye complex with all these things going on. I've been exhausted. And this really helps with dark circles and puffiness. Again, typically people are going to want to know a little bit more. So that to me, then you can pull out your phone. Have those before and afters ready. This is what I'm talking about. Hopefully, if you guys have been using the product, they can be your before and afters because that really can make a huge impact. Let the conversation go that way. To me, then you can say, gosh, what are you using? What skincare line do you use? That's not unnatural when you've already been having the conversation. Again, I feel like that's a much more organic way to present this than feeling like you have to rattle off a lot of details. Now, when it comes to the business and duplicating, again, I didn't know who would want to join a stay-at-home mom from 4 years without a background in skincare or sales. Who would want to join me in business? What did that look like? What I learned over the course of time is really asking, have you ever thought about doing something like this? You know, you said to me in our last conversation, you weren't in love with your job anymore. What's going on with that? Or maybe they just say in passing, God, oh my God, with the holidays coming up, we're trying to figure out how are we going to do Christmas for the kiddos this year? They're asking for more and more expensive things. And, you know, we're trying to figure that out. Have you ever thought about, you know, a different stream of income? Let them talk. Let them answer that question. Because what that allows us to do is really answer how this could be a good fit for them. And I like to walk away from any conversation. Hey, you know what? This might not end up being for you, but I sure would love to just get you a little bit more information and get your feedback. When we do it that way and we make it about them, to me, again, it's a really authentic way to let them know that we do care, that we're not just trying to shove something down their throat, whether it be products or whether it be the business, but instead really making this about them. You know, again, hey, you said that the dark spots that you have are really bothering you. I would love if we could find a solution, you know, a reverse line, and then you can just talk a little bit more. Again, show those before and afters. Being a former interior designer, images to me speak volumes. And so when I have the media coverage to send to people, a lot of times that's what I send as a follow-up. Hey, oh my gosh, you may not have seen this, but we were featured in, and shoot over an image. Let them see what the beauty editors are talking about. Use the tools that we have to your advantage, because no one else has the kind of media coverage that we do because our products work so well. So use that. Kind of in closing, like I said at the beginning, nothing works better than practicing. So if you guys are feeling like you're not armed to have the conversation, talk to your sponsor about that. But practice having conversation with your best friends, with your husband, with your mom, whoever your people are, practice with them. And what that's going to do when you say it aloud to someone is really, it gives you that confidence to do this then when you're given the opportunity to really have a live conversation. That to me is where we gain the courage to grow our business. Guys, there's no other business that allows you to dictate what your paycheck's going to be. It just takes effort and consistent work. And again, this time of the year, you're running into people that you may not see again until the next holiday season. And let them know, gosh, it would be such a blast. It was so fun catching up with you. It would be a blast to work together. You know, do this side by side. Think through, who do you like being around? You know, we get to choose who we have these conversations with. And it's always surprising to me the people that decide this is a good fit for them business-wise. But you'll never know that unless you have the conversation with them. So go make it a great day. Challenge yourself to do this 5-5-5. Have 5 new conversations, follow up with 5 people, and put 5 new social media friends, because that's what's going to grow your business. We know that it takes usually 30 to 60 days for people to turn around. And plug them in, lead them to the next step. If that's a 3-way call, if that's following up with them, sending them some information, set the next thing so that they know what to expect from you. And to me, that makes us feel, at least me, it makes me feel less salesy, because I know what the expectation that they have of me, and they know what to expect from you. So it doesn't make it quite as, again, salesy. So go make it a great day, like I said, and I can't wait to see how this helps you guys grow.